Hello, Simon.
Hi, Simon. Simon, how are you?
Hi,
Good,
Simon.
good, good. Good,
Hi,
good.
Simon.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Tape
Good,
recorder
good.
is
So,
on.
good.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so let's look at the agenda and go over it. Do we want to change anything that's on the outline? Did you position anything? Change the numbers?
This is Dell here. I just want to make sure that the first one is that this has to be reported on, I guess, by the 7/13. So I just want to make sure that we've now scheduled it to be looked at by the Land Use Committee on 7/8, next Thursday.
And which one is that?
That's number one. That's the Grand Street. I just found out last week that it was certified and it's on a 60-day clock. So it has to be. We have to have a public hearing. So we have to have a public hearing before the full board, before July. What is it? July 13th board meeting. So I had already told the Land Use Committee to keep aside next Tuesday, July 6th and July 8th, because we thought we were going to have River Ring on July 6th. But now River Ring is not ready. And so I had hoped to do this next Tuesday, and so had the members of the Land Use Committee. We all preferred Tuesday, July 6th, but Marie said that wouldn't give her enough time to send out the notices. So she said we could do it on July 8th. And I just want to make sure that's set in motion so that we can do that. It's my understanding we have to have a public hearing and, we have to have the committee public hearing so that we can present to the full board at the next full board meeting. Jerry, I think really this is probably addressed to you more than anybody.
Are you asking Jerry a question?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Marie told me that you picked July 8th, and it's not so much time to send out the notices, it's time to notify, do it so they could get the meeting notice up on the website. So July 8th is the date.
Okay, fine. I mean, we hoped, we had preferred the 6th, but if Marie felt it was just too short a notice. So now we have to make sure that everybody on the Land Use Committee also knows, because they left the meeting the other night thinking we were meeting next Tuesday when it's actually going to have to be Thursday, I guess.
So did you have the 6th calendar?
We did. We had the 6th and the 8th. But now there have been so many changes in this last month, I'd say, with things are going to be, it's going to be certified. No, it's not going to be certified. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. So it looks like the only thing I have to deal with now is this Grand Street application, which is a big surprise. That wasn't even on the list. So it looks like I have only one item to worry about for July, and that's Grand Street. We preferred to do it this coming Tuesday, but Jerry, if you and Marie feel it has to be Thursday, okay. It's just that I want to make sure all the
Again, it's not me and Marie, it's notification to do it. It has to be
understand.
5 business days.
Okay, so if it has to be, fine. Then can we make sure that the Land Use Committee members also get notified, because they think we're meeting Tuesday, because that was what everybody preferred, and we didn't realize that would be a problem. I'm not blaming anybody for our not knowing. This is a last minute entry that we got. I just want to make sure everybody knows. I feel very bad about the way we've been, telling people we're having a meeting. No, we're not having a meeting. Yes, we are. So I'm not pointing a finger at anyone. No one's done anything wrong. I just want to make sure that everybody knows, because I hope to also have a decent number of people at the meeting. I have a feeling there are going to be a lot of feelings about this application. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm feeling there's going to be some opposition to it.
So you're asking for this item to be number one, is that what you're saying?
Oh, I don't care if it's number one. I don't care what it is. I just want to make sure that we're set up to have it on the, have it as the public hearing. Because remember, it's the committee that's going to do the public hearing. So I want to make sure that the members of my committee are taught. I want to make sure the members of my committee know that the meeting next week is going to be on Thursday, on the 8th, not on the 6th for Grand Street. And I'm asking, can the office, the board office, send out that notice?
Yeah, but that's another thing we have to discuss, because as you know, we can go back in person now. So we got to figure out the venue to have these meetings. We can't seem to get any definite protocols. So we have to talk about, whether we're going to continue to do virtual or if we're going to go in person. So that's another thing.
A couple of people already asked if the meeting next week could still be virtual, just because they haven't switched things around yet, but whatever we decide. I just would hope that even as early as tomorrow, and Jerry, I'm asking if that can be sent out to people, at least to let them know that it's next Thursday night that we're meeting, not next Tuesday night.
Well, I guess you got to get, consensus. Does everybody agree with that?
Sending out a
I agree.
notification.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Okay. And you say you want to do it virtual?
I think if it's okay with everybody, I would do it virtually because it's so soon. It's next week already. And I don't even think we have a place that we can have it. I don't know if Jerry, if you or if anyone else knows anything about this Grand Street application. I'm guessing there's going to be opposition to it. Now, again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's something that everybody loves, but it just looks to me like it's not going to be that easy. So I don't even know if having a meeting at our office would be possible with, whatever COVID regulations are still in effect.
Well-
I would prefer that it be virtual for next week, yeah.
So what I
Maria,
said,
you was trying to say something?
yes, if I may, that there are still restrictions, although, this has been lifted where we're able to meet in person. I don't think that there's a full vetting of having people gather in small spaces, in close proximity, which is what would happen if we were to meet at the district office next week.
You sound kind of distant, Maria. We're having a hard time
Yeah,
hearing you.
I can't hear you.
Really sorry because I'm in transit. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what I said is that I'm not sure about having meetings in small spaces. Large gathering wall spaces like the district office so soon. I understand we can meet in person, but how many people are going to show up to congregate in that little space? If you anticipate that there's going to be pushback, it has to be virtual.
That's what I'm thinking. I agree. That was my
Yes.
point.
Again,
I think we might have a lot of people show up. I don't know, but we should be.
I think
prepared.
that yes, that it should be virtual because again, there's a lot of rules and restrictions and they have to be followed and things have to be really, have to be put in place. So it's just too much. It'll be too much for you guys.
What is it, 16, 17 people on your committee, Dale?
Oh, well, I think it's more like 55. No, just joking.
I know you are. I know you are, 'cause I know I can sign that many people to that committee.
And by the way, once again, I want to tell you, Dallas, I really am very pleased with the people that you've put on the committee. It's a really good group of people. It's about 20, I think it's 20. Well, if a quorum is 12, it must be 25 people. So just the committee itself is big, you know?
Well, I think there's about 16, 17 people on your committee. And the social distance like 3-4 feet apart.
Yeah.
So there's no way we could even, I don't even think we could get the committee in there and get the social distance and that.
Yeah,
would need-
that's the point. That's right. Actually, it's over 20 people on my committee because Marie last night told us.
It's 20.
Oh, okay,
Right.
because we were told last night we had that 12 was a quorum, so I guess it's not. I guess it's 11. Okay. Okay, 20. But you're right, Dallas. This is a lot. It's a big committee.
Yeah, so that's something that we need to discuss. Let's do the agenda and then we'll come back and discuss open meetings. So that's another item that will go on the agenda. So that will make like what, 4, 5? That would be 5 items. So does anybody have any problem with the way the agenda is set up? Do we want to go in this sequence?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm fine with this.
Yes, I'm so.
Okay, so we'll go with the sequence that is set up in, and they'll look like most of these are all on basically text amendments and stuff. So I don't know if you want to move yours up or just put it at the end.
What's the sequence? Number 2 becomes number 1? Is that what you're saying? Is that the sequence?
Isn't it
Well,
the
we're
way
looking at
it
the
is?
order that is set up in, and everybody agreed to that order. And I'm
Yeah.
asking Dell, when we put her item on, would she like to, put it last, put it in
Well-
between something that's already
Well,
there?
Dell is pulling number 1 and scheduling that for July 8th. I think that's my understanding.
Yeah. But Dallas is asking, do I want to have it? Do I want to have all of my things together, or do I mind if it's, do I mind if it's separated? So do I want grand?
All the text amendments together, do it all and get it out the way.
I mean, that's fine with me too.
So then we'll have to change the order if we
Oh.
go.
Just tell me how you want them numbered.
Okay, we got the zoning, we got 824, the zoning, that's first. Dell, you won't be doing that, will you?
Which one? The number 2?
Number
No.
1. Well,
Oh.
there's no number, but it's presentation, 824 Metropolitan Avenue.
Wait, which one is 824 Metropolitan Avenue?
Private application for zoning map amendment to facility develop the 8-story mixed-use residential building at 36 dwelling, 36-unit development. I don't know who's presenting that. It's not on here.
Oh, it's not on here, right? I
No, I
don't
don't
even
know.
know. I didn't even know about that.
Do you have the agenda in front of you?
I do, but I don't see anything about Metropolitan Avenue.
It's the first one. Or do
So
I
that's
have the
Grand
wrong?
Street. The number 1 is Grand Street, 957 Grand Street.
Or do I have the wrong agenda? Okay, hi.
I have 957 Grand Street as number 1.
Okay.
That's the one I'm talking about that has to be for next week. We have to have a public hearing on it.
Okay. So we'll go with this order. Anybody have any objections?
No.
Okay, so Jerry.
I still don't know the order, so I have an objection.
Can somebody tell him what's on there? I'm looking because I seem like I might have the wrong agenda.
I think are we putting all of the, land use things together, or do we just want to leave it? I don't know if it matters.
Or the text of, maybe, I don't have the agenda for today. That's my problem.
So Grand Street is number one here, and then it goes on to things that are not text amendments. That's number 2, 3, and then on number 4 and number 5 and number 6 and number 7 are all land use items. So I think, Dallas, you're saying maybe we should just put all the land use items together.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, do them all at once rather than keep coming back. And people
Right.
say, oh, you're back again with the same thing,
Right. So maybe number 1 then would come in after.
Excuse me, Jerry, is Marie in the office? Is Marie on? Can she send me the agenda? Because I'm looking at my phone and I don't seem to have this agenda.
So number 1 would come after liquor licenses. That clear enough, Jerry? So the 2 would become 1, 3 would become 2, 1 would become 3, and then it's the same as whatever. So 1 becomes 3, 2 becomes 1, 3 becomes 2, and then it's the same, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't have that. I don't have this agenda. So I can't see it. Thought I had the right one, but it's not. I'm looking through my phone and I don't see the agenda for this meeting at all. Or maybe it's further down. Okay, now I got it.
It starts with 957 Grand Street. BSA 2021.
Yeah, I got it now. Pull it up on my phone.
Okay.
Thanks. And then you got, so that's it. You got two items.
I have actually a lot of items. I have that, and then I have 4, 5, 6, 7. They don't have to be addressed, I guess, until September or whatever, but that's why. So number 1 would become 3, 2 would become 1, 3 would become 2.
I thought 1 is off the agenda, period. I thought you're having a committee public hearing.
I am.
So then that's no longer on the agenda.
Oh, I see.
It comes under your report.
Okay, it comes under my report. You're right. You're right. So take it off. You're right. Absolutely. Thank you. I always get that mixed up. So then everything else is the same, except everything moves up 1 because number 1 is out.
If you want these other items on the agenda at all. I mean, the land use items you have to, but the other items you don't have to.
I think we should just do the land use. It's gonna stretch it out. I think we should just do the land use. Given the time sensitivity, they're on the clock. I think it's just too time sensitive.
Yeah, we got 7 items here. What is White Avenue? LLC license. So we got wife.
Well, I think we have to keep,
We have to keep wife on.
we have to keep open restaurants, sidewalk, because that's a text amendment. We have to keep Cooper Park, we have to keep Quay. Because we have to keep liquor licenses, so the only thing I think we can get rid of is the friendly visiting program.
And what is that program about? Friendly visiting?
Friendly visit program, the friendly visiting program connects to socially isolated homebound seniors with a friendly visit.
Huh? And who's presenting?
I don't know. It's a request that came in. So do we want to take that off or keep it on? Oh, this is Riseboro, Maria.
Riseboro?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna opine.
Huh?
Not.
Did she get cut off?
I'm not gonna say yay, nay, or anything. Yeah, that's gonna be on. I mean, I have to recuse.
You're going in and out. We can't hear you.
I have to recuse myself. I have no opinion on that. Did you hear me?
You got what?
Recuse.
You say you're not gonna have to recuse yourself on that?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody? Okay, rest of you guys. Do we want to keep it on or take it off?
At this point, I just say keep it.
Okay, so that means we're keeping all the items on here.
Yeah, we'll just address them.
Number 3, Jared, 30-day notice for SLA application to be advised and referred to SLA review and DCA commissioner. So that's on the clock. 30-day notice. Do we need to discuss that?
That's a monthly request from the SLA committee.
Okay, guys, what we want to do? All right. Do we want to keep the SLA review on there? Okay, forget it. Let's just keep everything on the agenda and move on.
So, by the way, Jerry asked me to bring up, the fact that the hotel, special permit was supposed to be voted on by July 12th. So if we vote on it on July 13th, it'll be one day late. And Jerry suggested I ask, do you want to change the full board meeting to the 12th or leave it on the 13th? Now, Alexandra said to us at the committee, and also she sent us an email saying that if we're a day late, we will still be, our recommendation will still be considered. And I can tell you that as far as I know, there really isn't any opposition to it. There was no opposition at the committee meeting. Everybody was in favor of the hotel special permit. I personally don't think it would be a problem to just leave it and let it be voted on the 13th, one day late. But that's, that's just my
Think that's-
opinion.
I think that, well, for me, that Monday would be better. I'm out of town Tuesday, so it's gonna be so crazy. And I do want to make the meeting. So I mean, I don't know what Madam Chair says, but I'm changing it one day before. I mean, I'm with it if you guys agree.
I mean, I'm fine with either day. I just didn't know if people would get really upset that there would be this change in the schedule during the summertime.
We could try it. What do you think, Madam Chair?
You guys want to vote on it and get yays and nays?
Well, yeah, I'm a yay.
Okay, does everybody agree that we should change the date from the 3rd to 12th, from the 13th to the 12th?
Okay
Yeah,
with
so,
me.
Yes, I agree.
Okay with me.
Yes,
I agree.
good.
Because it's in July and, you know,
Okay.
we normally don't have meetings in July. So whether it's Monday or Tuesday, I think people will be fine with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay with me.
Okay with me.
Is Simon still on?
Yes, I'm here. I'm okay.
Do you have a problem with changing the meeting from Tuesday to Wednesday to Monday?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll change the meeting from the 13th to the 12th.
Okay.
Hopefully people didn't go out of town and think they'd be back in time for the meeting. It's supposed to be on the 12th, on the 13th.
Right.
Okay. So is there anything else for the agenda?
Hi, good evening. Am I allowed to speak? I put in for the liquor license.
Would you identify yourself?
Christina Bailey. I'm with 134 Metropolitan. I presented last week and was told by Bogdan that because of the size of the space, I would need to present in front of the entire board on the 13th. I'm not sure if, I was told I needed to I will come in and log into the meeting just to get confirmation that I would be added to the agenda. That's what
So-
I guess following up on.
Okay, I understand. You said Bogdan told you wasn't allowed to do what at his meeting?
No, I presented. He said that I would just need to present in front of the entire community board because of the size of the space.
How large is the space?
It accommodates 343 guests. It's 5,000
No way.
square feet.
Mm-hmm.
It was previously the living room, 134 Metropolitan. So I know there were liquor licenses there before. And I'm not familiar with, that's what I do know about the history of the space, but just going off of what I was told last week, I needed to present in front of the entire board.
So he didn't tell you to send an email to the board and ask to be put on the agenda?
I did as well. I sent email to licenses at BK. Don't quote me. I don't know what it is. Licenses. And then I also CC BK NYC, whatever the email address is. I sent that out immediately after the meeting.
You sent us an email asking us to be put on the agenda.
I did.
Madam Chair,
And I
Yes.
was told by
Mr. Bakarowski was chairing the meeting. He was advised that only the chair of the committee or the vice chair could make the referral to the executive committee. We have not received anything from Mr. Bakarowski. Mr. Burrows was advised yesterday of the request. We have not received anything from Mr. Burrows.
So they didn't send, so we don't have a request.
I mean, I was told that he would. I didn't get any objection from him. He said that he would send the request and also for me to send an email. I called the community board as well, like 2 or 3 times after that meeting, just to get clarification on what I was supposed to do, and was given the same information.
Hmm. Okay, guys, how do we want to handle this? Should we agree to put her on or wait for the letter from the chair? I asked the chair to send us a letter before we send out the agenda.
We could ask the chair to send out a letter. I think we did ask to have her put on. I mean, for her to, I think the chair has to send the letter.
Okay.
I think we have to remind everyone that July 13th has been changed to July 12th. So Christina needs to know that.
Yes, I heard that part. Thank you. So I guess
Okay,
like my first process in this, my first time in this process. So do I wait? Do I check back in? What am I supposed to do from here?
well, since the chair was told to send an email to the office requesting that you present to the full board, you have to go back to the chair and tell him that we must have a request within the next, the day is Wednesday. We should have a request in the office by Friday.
Do you have a contact for him? Because he didn't give me any contact information that day.
I don't have it handy. Can you call the office tomorrow
Okay.
and ask them to give you his number or email address?
Okay, I will do that. And then if he doesn't send the request and happens to forget again, then that means I have to wait until September. I mean, that's really kind of unfair because I did present and it was just the size of the space why I need to now come back and present.
If I may, Madam Chair and committee, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
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 Did the board receive that email that she's referencing? She
No.
says she sent an email requesting to be put on the agenda. Was that ever received by the board?
Jared, did we receive Christina's email?
I don't know.
I
It would
sent
be
it on
it would be as
Thursday.
simple as forwarding that, excuse me, it would be as simple as forwarding that email to Bogdan and saying that she was here tonight. Can he just send, shoot something back? Requesting that
Bogdan refuses to act on it. He's deferring to Mr. Burrows. Mr. Burrows was called yesterday and advised of the situation, said he was going to speak to Bogdan, and we've heard nothing.
So I guess it's up to this committee to override the committee since the committee is not doing due diligence on this item.
I
It
don't
sounds
think
like-
that, I think we have to be fair to the
That's their
residents.
responsibility. That is the committee chair's responsibility. So to punt it to the executive committee without their recommendation or whatever, that's not procedure. That's not proper procedure.
And Mr. Bakarowski was informed of that at the committee meeting.
And by the way, this is
Meanwhile, we have a resident here who's being caught in the middle.
No, absolutely.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
that,
but
we can't have that. We're the executive committee. We can't just turn our backs on her.
I agree.
I agree too. I
Backs on
think
her, that we should get committee chairs to submit, to do their due diligence. That's what I'm saying. This person should not be caught in the middle.
But then she was, excuse me, she was advised to send an email to be put on the agenda by the committee when was acting chair. And she did exactly what she was told to do.
Can I just say something, Simon?
yes.
Why not?
Now, just the facts. Just understand the facts. Bogdan was running this. I attended this meeting, so Bogdan was only temporarily running as the chair. As he was on vacation. What's his name? Sorry, the regular chair. So that's why one. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Tom. Sorry. That's why it's being pushed around. Now this item, this is a very big venue, and that's why we need the whole community needs to hear what they're planning to do there. This is not a regular. The question is, are they on the clock? Is this item on the clock or not? Applicant, is this item on the clock? Are you running on a specific time to get this authorized?
Yes. I would like to, and I'm assuming I need your recommendation in order to apply for the license to start the process. So
Yeah,
I,
but
SAM
usually
on-
we don't meet. Usually we don't meet in the summer. That's what I'm explaining to you. What's this? That's why it's so we're hesitant. This whole issue. I'm just throwing this out there. I mean, we're talking now to the chair of the committees of the community board. So they'll carry on talking about this. Okay, I'm sorry, Simon.
It's okay. It seems like the applicant is caught in the middle of this, and she seemed like she followed the directions that was given to her.
The directions that were given were erroneous. And when Bogdan made the statement at the committee meeting, and Gina, you were there, you heard me correct Bogdan and tell him that that was not the protocol. The applicant does not come directly to the board. The referral has to be made by the committee.
The chair of the committee. And Bogdan was the co-chair that day.
Correct.
Tom
But
was on
Bogdan,
vacation.
because he chaired the meeting that night, could have made the referral. He refused. He said he would talk to Tom.
Yes, because he's the co-chair, and he was acting in the absence of the chair. So it was his responsibility to forward us an email. So I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to get Bogdan or Tom to give us a email requesting that Christina be put on the agenda.
I think that's a good idea. Have either Mark or Tom do the referral to put Christina on the agenda.
Yes, and we need it before we do the agenda. You think we'll be able to get Bogdan to do it, or he gonna say, I mean, how we going, this is unprecedented. This is,
I think what's happening is because Tom's on vacation, he's referring to Tom. I don't know. I don't know what's happening between.
was Tom back from vacation? Nobody knows.
Marie's trying to get him on the phone now. Bogdan flat out refused to do it.
Okay, so Simon's question I think is important here. Do we have a certain time limit on our on when we have to vote on this for the liquor license?
Well, apparently she hasn't started the paperwork yet. She's waiting for us. Is that correct, Christina?
Yes, that's correct. And can I just say a few more things? I actually I FedExed these documents over like 3 weeks before last week's meeting. So I'm just curious why I wasn't notified of what's the process right now, like that the space is too large before I even presented, because I did present. I put a whole presentation PowerPoint together, and I spoke for about 10 to 15 minutes for him to tell me that I then need to redo this, in 2 weeks.
Christina, what's the address of this place?
One issue.
134.
The issue. This is it's a collective effort. It's a vote that has to come from the entire community board. The issue right now is to give you the opportunity of presenting at the next public meeting. That's the issue. And that's where there is a gap in communication.
Okay.
Because the recommendation would go to the full community board. However, in this particular liquor license, it had to be presented before the full community board because of the large venue. But all liquor licenses come with our recommendation before the full community board.
Is there a restaurant there already?
No.
No answer for Mr. Burrows.
What about Bogdan?
Tom's on vacation.
There's no reason to call Bogdan. He refuses to do it.
But isn't he the co-chair? So in the absence of the chair, is that not his responsibility?
Yes, Maria, you're right, he is. And yes.
Meeting number from
Well, I guess, at this point, she's done everything that she was supposed to do. Except, the chair didn't put he said that she had to come to the full board, but he didn't put the recommendation in.
So why don't we give it another 2 days? And I mean, I don't know. What's today? Wednesday?
Yeah, I figured by Friday, maybe Bogdan or
Another-
Tom could get us something to the office.
Right, to follow, due process, do things the right way. And if by Friday that hasn't happened, then the executive committee is gonna have to step in, right?
And make a decision, yeah.
Correct, and make an executive decision. No pun intended.
Okay, so.
The only problem is we have to get the meeting notice to do it on Thursday.
On Thursday?
Has to be 5 business days before the meeting. You've changed the meeting to the
Oh, that's
Monday.
right. Okay, guys, let's make a decision.
I mean, maybe Bogdan shouldn't be the co-chair if he's not willing to take the responsibility.
I agree.
Maybe somebody else needs to be the co-chair. Maybe he needs to be told that he if he wants to remain co-chair, he needs to take on the responsibility because he's the one who told Christina to do something that he knows was not proper.
Okay, guys, it's up to us. Can somebody make a motion on what we should do?
Sonia, I'll make a motion that she should present.
I
Yes.
I second it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, motion made by Sonia, second by Dell, that we should put her on the agenda, put Christina on the agenda to present. Everybody agree, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Abstentions? Objections? Okay, thank you. So we'll put you on the agenda, Christina. Thank you so much. Have a good, safe weekend.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.
Likewise.
You
Bye-bye.
too. You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
So does that become number 7?
Yeah.
Yep, I guess so. Unless we want to remove the friendly visiting program.
Well, why don't we take out the friendly visit program and put her in, because she said she had a PowerPoint.
That's okay with me.
Is there a motion to take out the
I
friendly
make a
visit?
motion. I
Like
make
the
a
friendly
motion.
visiting program. I mean, I feel like the friendly visiting program is something for seniors. This is just like one more issue on bars but that's I mixed feelings.
So you think we should keep them all in, Gina?
Yes, I agree with Gina. I think we should.
All right, we're just gonna have a very long meeting.
Oh my
But-
gosh, yes.
What a surprise.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
So-
so Dell,
So what's
I
the
withdraw my motion.
so what's
Okay.
the order? 2 becomes number 1 and then work its way down?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
You want to leave Cooper Park in that order, Dell?
Might as well.
Why not? Why not? You
Okay.
know,
All right, so everything's going to get bumped down then, because number 1 is off the agenda, 2 becomes 1, and so forth. And
Yeah.
number 7 is this bar, which we'll have to
yeah,
get the information for.
right.
Mm.
I do think that Bogdan there needs to be some kind of he needs to answer for this somehow. I don't know how. I wish I had a really good suggestion, but this just doesn't, I don't see how we should be in this position, and it could happen again.
Well, just so you know, when Bogdan and again, Gina was at the meeting, Mr. Weiser was at the meeting. When Bogdan made the statement directing the applicant to come directly to the executive board, he was corrected. He was told he was wrong, and he was told that we don't want applicants coming directly to the executive board, that the committee chair had to make the referral. And he, as committee chair, was advised, as acting committee chair, he had to make the referral. He flat out refused. We called him again the next day. He flat out refused. He said he was going to talk to Tom. We then finally got Tom, and Tom didn't know anything about it, so he said, and he was going to talk to Bogdan, and we never got a call back from anybody. And again, Marie just called Tom. We get no answer.
So Jerry, was the applicant present during that conversation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. She overheard the conversation. She was online, and she was there when Bogdan was told he was out of order.
So none of the committee members told that that's not the way it's done. They were present and say, "Excuse me, Christina, you gotta wait, or we can't do this."
He didn't even have a quorum.
Oh.
And because she heard it, and I heard she heard it, she said, you know, it's why I said, why don't we just give it the 2 days and let it, you know, go through due process. He's gonna have to do what he has to do, take responsibility. He either recommends or doesn't.
I don't agree with that, because they're not going to, one. And two, no damage control now, because they already, you know, they did some damage, and now we have to just make sure that they're told whatever, like Del said, Madam Chair, that they got to bring it to their attention. This is not acceptable. That's
Sonia,
Jerry, we have to send Bogdan an email and tell him that, you know, the community, he's got to follow protocol, because it is not fair for the applicant has come and sit in a meeting and be begged to put on the agenda, especially when they were done what they were told to do. So
question, Madam Chair, question. So Gina, I'm sorry, don't mean Gina Barrows. So the rest of the committee members that were there overheard when Jerry said to Bogdan that that's not procedure, this is procedure. And who else heard when Bogdan said to this woman, go to the board and request to meet with the executive committee? Who else heard that?
We were like very small that day, extremely small.
You could watch it. It's online. You could watch it on our website. You could watch the whole meeting.
Jerry, here's my thing. Did no one say, hello, Jerry just said that's not the way it's done? And no one stepped up to say that?
I corrected him after he made that statement to the applicant. I said, Bogdan, that is not the protocol. So the young lady heard me make the correction, and Bogdan and the entire committee heard me make the correction.
That's why I said that we should have followed due process. That's why I said that. That's why I said it. But you know what? It's water under the bridge. It's done. It was voted on. She's going to have her piece, and that's it. But, you know, moving forward.
I agree with you, Maria. I agree with you, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's not going to take responsibility, nor is Tom. So therefore, we're not going to keep it in limbo. It's just something that we're going to lesson learned. Now we have to make sure that we watch them.
Look, I felt that if we didn't come up with a decision tonight, we were going to we were starting to look like we really were very disorganized, and I don't think
I agree.
We can't have that. And if Bogdan should then have clarified to her, sorry, I take back everything I said. We don't want you to appear, or we do, but the bottom line is, we know they probably do want this to be presented to the full board, because that's the SLA committee's policy. If it's a big enough venue, they do want them before the board. So she is. So what kind of, I mean, this is ridiculous.
They've always, all the big venues has always come before the board and did their presentation.
I
So, you know,
agree
just
with
because
everything
the
that
two
has
of
been
them
said.
can't get together as to which one is gonna send the letter, but yet the message that she's gonna have to come before the board is our policy, and I felt like
I
we were
agree
really
with
looking
everything that
bad.
has been said. I agree with everything that has been said. Hence, I also asked, was that request that she made reference to, did you see that request come into the BK email address? She said she wrote to the BK. Did anyone, did Jerry or Marie see that email? Did you see it? Because that's the opportunity to write back and say, listen, you have to reach out to the committee chair. This has to come from the committee chair.
She was told that when she called the office.
And then it should have been reiterated in that email that she sent. There should have been a reply to that email. We explained that this is the process. Process is that. Emphasize.
She didn't even have a way to, she just told us she didn't have access information to the committee chair.
She didn't have contact information for him.
That's what she said.
Okay.
So you're right, Maria. There should have been a written response to her. If we did get the email, unfortunately we didn't know tonight if the office
email in fact came in. Exactly.
And that again made us look like we don't know what the heck is going on. So I just felt like it was very important for us to make a decision.
The committees have to know that they can't do things like this. They can't shift the community off when they don't want to make a decision. They just can't shift it off on the executive board because generally we don't make these kind of decisions. And it puts us in a bad spot. We can't sit here and not do anything at this point.
I agree.
People should not be left in limbo either.
Yes,
exactly.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely.
He should have handled this differently.
I do believe that in terms of this liquor license committee, it's a committee that I think as a liquor license committee, we should meet and really make a decision in terms of how we're going to proceed, because we were there past 12 o'clock midnight. And perhaps by that point, we were like, the applications are very, very involved, very detailed. You have to look at signatures. You have to look at the capacity. Is it indoor, outdoor? It's so detailed and so involved. And on this particular meeting, there are only 3 of us. We lost the quorum. Tom was not there. Rob was not there. And those 2 are pretty good. They know how to work. And we were like 3 of us working past 12 midnight. So I think, and this always happens, we need to really maybe review it as a committee, how we can work together to do a review, maybe meet twice to preview. That way we would have been able to tell this liquor license to say, look, this is the direction we're going to go with this license. I don't know. There has to be a way we can better work together.
Gina, but that's even worse. You didn't even have quorum to get to agree to make a recommendation. It's even worse.
I just spoke to Marie. Marie said she also spoke to the applicant and told her that we were waiting for a referral letter from the committee, which has not arrived yet.
I don't know. It's just a bad spot to be put in. And I can understand somebody trying to open a business and you go to the people who are in charge of, your process, and then they send you in the wrong direction. It doesn't look good for the board.
I agree.
Gina, I understand what you're saying. I don't understand, these meetings. I try to talk.
I believe, I'm going to propose, I believe that committee should meet and make a decision in terms of perhaps meeting twice a month so that we can at least have a preview of the applications or a way to work with the applications, because this application came in at the very end and we were like going through applications and applications. We perhaps should been saying this, we go in this direction.
You're
with this
going in and out,
applications in
Gina.
this direction.
You're
Oh,
going
okay.
in
Gina,
and out.
I would
excuse me,
have
Gina.
a pre-meeting on the applications.
Gina, excuse me. So you guys get to see those applications the very same day of the committee meetings? That's when you guys get to see these applications? You don't see them prior?
I review them before the committee meeting. We all do, but we're not, especially on webinar, we're like talking to each other on the reviews that we have made, but we're like, we have to have a discussion as a group after we reviewed it, but we review it before the committee meeting. But we're not talking to each other on the review.
Sonia, just so you know, the applications are forwarded to the committee members when they're received. However,
Okay.
a lot of the applicants and a lot of the expediters, they don't submit their applications to the committee until the day of the meeting, or some of them even 5 o'clock before the meeting.
Wow. Could that be just restructured? Could that be changed?
Well,
Jen?
it says on the application that we're supposed to receive it 5 days before the meeting, but
Well, I think anybody that sends in an application from now on, if they don't have it there at least 2 days, taking no application and reviewing them if they get in there the same day. This is just ridiculous. And
Yep,
think
I agree.
We talked about putting a time limit on meetings, because what this is doing, this is burning people out. You got them sitting up half the night, going over stuff, and it just don't make no sense. So like Gina said, maybe 2 meetings a month, depending on how many applications you got, or, you choose how many applications you're gonna take that for that particular meeting, whether it be 10 applications, 15 applications, or 20. And then, if you got a balance, then you can decide if you want to do another meeting. But this is just a bit much. You can't get a vote if you don't have a quorum. So you're sitting there spinning your wheels for half the night, and then you still come out with nothing because you didn't vote on anything. You might
want to invite the chair of the committee to the next executive committee meeting instead of discussing this in absentia.
Agree.
That sounds like a good plan. Yes, I agree.
I also agree with Dallas that I would go with a pre-committee meeting, really where we can at least discuss and review how we're going to work together with these applications, rather than doing them there when the applicants are already there waiting.
Because it's difficult, discuss everything. But I can, but how do people, it says on the application, you have to give your application in the 5 days. How are we accepting the applications that's coming in the same day?
I agree with Jerry. We shouldn't be beating this dead horse. We could discuss this with the chair.
Okay, well, I guess we need to, our next executive board meeting, we need to have the chair and the co-chair to discuss some protocols for SLA.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Agree.
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 Okay. What else is there?
Do we have to talk about how we're going to slide back into the in-person meeting, or?
Yeah, we need to. We need to talk about going back in person. Anybody got any suggestions, or anybody? It's open for discussion. We need to discuss it and decide, what.
Madam Chair, it's Philip. Jerry called me, and then I called to St. Nick's, who run the community, the Swinging 60s. Here's the schedule at the Swinging 60s. They're still giving this. It will still be a vaccine center all the way through July, till the end of July. August 1st, they're out of there. It's going to take us about 2 weeks to get the center ready for our seniors. The center is scheduled to reopen on the 16th of August. So what I said to Jerry was I would plan our September board meeting at the center. So
What's the capacity? What's the capacity, Phil?
I mean, in normal times, you've been there, Dallas, we put 200 people in there without a problem.
What's the capacity by the fire department guidelines?
I'll double check for you. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know off the top of my head.
But I think prior to things resuming, Bill, I think that we still have to follow the protocols. In addition, I think if we do those meetings in person, that people would have to pre-register to attend. We would have to keep a list and not exceed the numbers. And really get strict about it, because that's what I'm doing at the Senior Center currently. I pre-register people for events and functions, not to exceed the amount, because we still have to maintain some social distance. It's not lifted. And there's still going to be some numbers on who can come in and who can't.
If you're looking at September, you're talking about 2 months plus. So I think we have to wait and see exactly, what's going to be by that time. We might look, they're filling stadiums right now. So it could just be no distancing, just back to normal.
Stadiums
Well,
are open.
with COVID, it's
Stadiums
kind
are
of hard
open.
to make any plans because everything changes minute by minute and hour by hour and day by day. So it's hard to make any concrete plans with COVID.
I agree, but say that open stadiums is out in the air. No, it's open, as opposed to a closed room where you know how it gets very cluttered with people. It just gets really crowded.
But the thing about it, we don't have a place to meet until September in person.
I'm not going into any room with 200 people. I am not doing that.
I agree with that. Neither would I. I can't. I have a pre-existing condition. I can't.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be a problem for everybody to go back out here. We need guidelines, because I don't think anybody's too anxious to go around, 50, 60, 100 people at this time, being in one small room.
I agree, Madam Chair. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I want to go out, Madam Chair, but I'm not going to go into a space with 200 people in a closed environment. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that until I feel comfortable, because you know what? I got to take care of me.
Exactly. Phil, do St. Nick's has to do anything about the ventilation system at the center?
Don't forget, they upgraded the entire facility because remember, right now, it's a vaccination center. So they had to meet strict guidelines for the vaccination center. They would never be allowed to open there. So the place has been sanitized, upgraded, all the air conditioning systems have been upgraded. So I got to think that when they're out there, it's going to be, pretty safe environment to be in.
Well, we're not saying, that it won't be safe. It's just the capacity, but by the time you get 50 board members in there, and the non-board members and get the community, before we stop having meetings, meet people all out in the hallways.
Yes.
So we got to think that, we're not used to not having a lot of people at our meetings. So we know that we can do crowd control because we have done crowd control before. But, so still you're telling me to remember, but I don't know what I'm supposed to remember because I asked you about the air filtration center.
Well, like I said, from what I understand, everything was, it was certified by the city to have that vaccine center there. So, I mean, if you're going to have a vaccination center there, I'm sure it's going to be okay to hold a meeting there. You know what I'm saying, Dallas?
Yeah, but Bill, the vaccination center, because we're going to do that at our senior center, it's a limited people. They have control, crowd control, because when we were doing it for the Sude Senior Center, there was rules that we couldn't because we had less square footage that they said no. Certain people that can come in at a time.
Okay, well, we'll play, let's play it day by day. I just said to you, we're talking about something that's two plus months away. So you're not gonna make a decision tonight. Let's wait another month. Let's wait into August and see what's going on by then. See, maybe the city can give us some guidance.
Well, we're trying to get guidance, but in the
Yeah.
meantime, we're trying to get guidance from the CDC and whoever, the mayor's office, whoever's making the rules. But the thing is, you know, we got meetings already, we got meetings scheduled. So do we want to continue to do them virtually?
I agree with Phil. We should put this on, you know, the law department or whomever, the compliance risk management office, whomever, to kind of inform and advise as to how we should conduct our in-person meetings until, you know, it's completely, you know,
Right.
comfortable or whatever. They have to give us some guidance. This is crazy.
We already asking for guidance. I'm talking about the meetings that we're having now. You know, like Dell has a meeting coming up. We got our community, our board meeting coming up. You know, so
Sonia, how many people are allowed in your center right now, according to DIFTA?
we don't know.
Oh, Sonia.
Oh,
We're talking
Sonia?
about that.
I guess Sonia must have went out.
She lost it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a capacity for the Ponce Fire Department and the city of 112. We're only allowed 29. 4 of them are staff and then 25 of the members. So it's only 29 from 112 capacity.
What's the distance? What's the social distance guidelines?
6 feet, still 6 feet.
Still 6 feet. Okay.
Yes, and they can't crowd, they can't be with each other, have separate tables. A lot of, you know, hand sanitizer, washing, spot cleaning, anything they touch, the doorknobs, it's just insane. My custodian has to run around everything anybody touches, spray, disinfect.
So, you know, folks, this is why I'm thinking that hybrid model is going to prevail, because regardless of what, there are some people that have compromised immune systems that may want to participate and attend but cannot or don't feel comfortable doing so. And there are people of different age groups. You know, some people are more vulnerable than others for whatever reason. I am pro a hybrid model.
I agree as well, Maria, because I mean, it's not fair for those who do want to participate. I mean, I go to work because I know I have my office and I have that space and the 6 feet is not overcrowded, and I control what goes on with the cleaning. I'm just concerned because again, I do have an existing condition, which I have to be very careful, and I do try that every day, and so is my husband. So again, it's just really feeling comfortable and people's personal choice, because now they're talking about another booster shot after I'm fully vaccinated. They're talking about something in September after 6 months to get, a booster shot.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of people with compromised immune system. I'm one of them myself. So, but we're looking into the legalities of it and get some guidance. So in the meantime, what are we saying? We want to continue virtually until we, because they're going to, we got to come, if they come to us, we got to say we agreed on something.
I think we should continue
we got a
virtually
plan
for the
for
time being. We don't have a place to meet otherwise.
Yep.
Well, suppose they tell us we have to find a place.
Well, they might. I saw their emails, and the emails to me were not at all helpful. They said, "Yep, you got to start in person right away, and call your borough president if you don't have a place big enough." That's a joke.
Yep.
They can't force anybody to do that. I'm not going to be forced to meet that. They cannot. They have to make accommodations for people that do not feel comfortable. Many reasons, for all the reasons that we've already expressed here.
So
can't-
let me point out that I noticed that at our virtual meeting the other night, everyone, representatives from the borough president, from the city, they all came. They didn't say anything. They had no complaints, you know. I mean, maybe we need to contact some of the other community boards, and maybe the community boards need to get together and put up a unified base if we all agree, because we're all in this position and it doesn't make any sense. Tell us,
Well,
you have to go back in person, even though there were no places to meet in. How stupid is this?
What it sounded like to me, everybody want to stay virtual.
I want to have the ability to go virtual or in person based on what my comfort level is. If my comfort level is to be in person, I'll be in person. But if my comfort level is to stay virtual, then I should be allowed to do that.
Well,
Well, that means we would stay virtual. That means we would stay at least partly virtual, because basically the rule now is we have to go in person. That's what the emails were saying. I've chosen to ignore it, but that's what the emails were saying.
well, we're still waiting for some guidance. So, and like I said, you know, Bill said that the center won't be open until September. So that's the earliest we can go to an in-person full board meeting if we choose to. And like Dell was saying, you know, she didn't think all the people would fit into the office for a committee meeting.
Right.
Because if it's still 6 feet, I mean,
Right.
it's
Right.
going to take a lot of space to accommodate 50 plus members.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there any other discussion on that?
No,
Huh?
No.
Is there anything else anybody want to discuss?
We should continue to seek further guidance. That's all.
Well, like I said, so what, Jared?
No, I was going to say, everyone got a chance to see my email that the city car was involved in a hit and run last evening.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Jerry, I saw it.
All right, so here's the problem, and I don't have an answer yet. I've been going back and forth with the DCAS, the Department of Citywide Administrative Services, all day. All right? If it was your car or my car or a personal vehicle, we would go to a body shop, and the body shop would contact the insurance company of the person that hit our car because our car was parked. They would negotiate a price with the perpetrator's insurance company and come to an agreement, and our car would be repaired by their insurance company at no cost to us because our car was parked, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Okay. Unfortunately, this is what I'm getting from the city, and I'm appealing it, and I don't have the final answer, but it appears under the city's protocol, the agency repairs the vehicle, and the check from the insurance company goes to the city's municipal fund. The agency does not get the check, which is outright ridiculous. We cannot afford to we don't have any money in our budget, as Maria can verify, to buy the essentials, let alone make what could possibly be $6,000 to $8,000 worth of damage to the vehicle. So I'm going back and forth with DCAS. I'm trying to get them to say that they will release the insurance check to us, and that we can then make the repairs to the vehicle. I don't have an answer. I will keep you all advised, but that's the latest. We did make a police report. We made a police report this morning when I saw the damage to the vehicle. We were very lucky because a Good Samaritan woman from the district did get all the information, including a photo of the vehicle leaving the scene. So we're good to go. with knowing who did it, I'm just waiting to get the police report back from the 94th precinct. Any questions?
Nope, sounds good.
So,
No? Okay, is there anything else?
No.
have a safe 4th of July.
Enjoy the holiday, everybody.
Did I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
Sonia.
adjourn.
Sonia, make the motion.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Sonia. Everybody have a safe weekend. Try to stay cool.
Happy 4th
You
of July,
too.
everyone.
Happy
Thank you for your
4th. Stay
service. Be
safe.
safe.
Happy
Thank
4th.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.